Oh, hello.
Hey, what's going
Well,
on?
how's everyone doing today?
What's crack-a-lackin'?
I'm so glad to see you all here. So
Yeah.
glad we got to spend this time together.
Just to laugh at a joke or two. Da, 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 da.
Well, welcome to the BGKH show. Today is Wednesday, September 21st. This month is flying by, but you know what? I'm glad because you know what that means?
Blackout
Vacation is coming
and vacation
together.
is, yes.
And I am getting myself ready. I've ordered my little action cameras. My hats are coming. You know, if you're going on the cruise, you know that we're having a Say Something Hat Day.
Yes.
And that's this Say Something Hat Day is just going to be a preview of the Say Something Hat Day that will happen on BGKH at Sea,
Yes,
October of 2023.
Hey, Louboutin.
Hey, Luby.
So yeah, and I'm trying to pull that together because I'm trying to. But
when I get to Orlando, I'm gonna have to be like, I need to find a Michaels and a Joanne's.
I just want to. All I need is for the bitch to crumble up. But I feel like I'm gonna probably wind up giving it to somebody afterwards.
I'm not. I feel like I'm going to figure out how the stuff goes and then create an indentation, fill that with like socks and t-shirts and stuff, and then that's going to be the very top layer of my luggage as the door close, as the window closes.
I get all of that, but I still need this. What I have
or I'm gonna wear it on the plane.
Well, there's that. What I do have in mind is kind of three-dimensional, so I got to figure out how
it has some architecture to it.
It does. It has a little bit of structure. A little structure.
Mine will certainly have dimension and movement.
Okay. All right. We're gonna work with that. So how's everybody doing? What's going on? I see Desmond. I see Louboutin. Who else? Who else dropped in here? You didn't put any comments in. Good evening to everyone. Who else is on here? Who's with us? Who's joining us?
What's going on here? So while they join, why don't you tell us how your week has been?
Sure. My week was pretty good. Hey, Spiller Boy. Hey, Centric. My week has been
weeky.
Yeah, it's been weeky. Like
Lola was able to join us and right at the top of the show too.
Come on, Lola. But yeah, it's been weeky, and I feel like tomorrow and Friday is going to be like the where it's going to pick up and it's going to be a lot of stuff to do. So, or it's going to be like trying. Like I'm gonna when Friday at 4:30 comes, I'll be like, oh my god, like I just feel like that.
Right.
But so far it's been good. So no real complaints, none whatsoever. So I'm gonna go with that. So and I got my stuff. Here. Hey, Spesh. I didn't even see Spesh come in.
Yeah, he just came.
Hi.
What stuff?
I ordered some. So I made the mistake a couple of months ago of going onto the Fenty website, and then I wound up joining this thing where you get these credits every month.
Did you get the red lingerie?
No. Well, I think I did a while ago. I think I got something red. But anyway, when I joined that little thing, whatever they had, they give me these credits. But then I thought about it, bitch, you're not giving me any credits, bitch. I'm paying for these credits.
Right.
So I pay, and I was like, oh, so we're done. So this is the last time I'm letting them pay that. But I had to use my credits that they've already taken out. So I was like, click, 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 click. I was like ordering all this stuff because it gave you the option of doing specific pieces or like combinations of stuff. So I was like, all right, let me get the 2 for, and I'll do combination. But some of that stuff has been arriving. I even got a new.
Are you gonna be serving some Savage by Fenty looks on the cruise?
I will bring it just because. But not to serve. I mean, I'm just gonna. But the loungewear, which I thought was really cute, I looked at that. So I got so that's cute, comfortable, plain stuff.
A simple, understated slab.
Yeah, it's a simple, and so I can wear that to and from. So when I put it on, I'll take it off. I'll put the bitch back on when I get ready to leave. But other than that, it's been good. I mean, I've had some good. I've had some good products come from them, so I'm happy with that.
Good.
So how's your week been? Weeky.
Yeah, nothing special. Tomorrow I'm heading down to Atlanta for
Right.
Leather Leadership Conference. So
LLC. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
it's
Is the photographer going to be there?
she don't talk to us no more. So when we were looking for a photographer for this year,
Mm-hmm.
I wrote up this RFP because I've
Okay.
done that before, and he responded, and I didn't remember his name or anything from then. And so when we actually talked
He had
on
a
the
name?
phone,
He had an
he
actual name?
does have a name.
Okay.
And we talked on the phone, and it still didn't click. But his name was kind of unique. And so I said, and listening to him on the phone, it was clear that he was Black.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm always, down for the people. So I went and looked him up on Facebook, and I was like, oh, I know who that is. And I'm not sure if he looked me up and remembered who I was, but after that conversation, he never responded to any of our communications. So.
That's not your issue.
I
That's
mean,
his.
we was trying to put money in his pocket.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to tell you.
It is what it is. So Lola, you got your vax today. Good. This is monkeypox, I'm assuming.
I thought she was talking about the COVID. Oh, I did get my
Your second
the
booster.
new. Well, child, I boosted and triple boosted.
Yeah.
I got the newest booster.
Yeah.
So
that's what I did.
I'm going to Fort Lauderdale or going to Florida. So
COVID. Okay.
I'm getting in Atlanta. So I'm getting everything that is possibly available. So I got the flu, I got the COVID, I got the monkeypox, I got the meningitis, I got the shingles, herpes simplex 10.
Right. Hey, Lonzy, what's going on?
Yeah, so I am good to go.
Good.
And then once I get back from Orlando, it's time to start packing for Blackout and the cruise.
Oh, I was like, what? I was like, okay, I forgot. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that should be good. This is gonna be, I think, a good. Someone made a post on Facebook about it, and it was saying something like they're getting excited about. I don't know if you made this post.
Me.
Yeah,
as I'm finally allowing myself to
get
be
excited
because
it's like, yeah,
it's like, what you go? Come on, world, what you gonna throw at us now?
Right. So we're gonna see how this turns out because I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to, most of all, really meeting and being around some of the other brothers and just having good times with other peoples that are showing up. So all of our siblings that are showing up, I'm looking forward to that because it's been so long since I've seen them, and that's one of the best things about going to these conferences and going to these events. It's the people. You know what I mean? You bump it, it's like, damn, this is amazing. After it's all said and done, out of all the money you spent and everything else, and the aggravation, and the plane didn't do this, and you couldn't get that, and you couldn't find change, but now you're able to sit back and laugh and joke.
Shaboom.
Yeah. So
and ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I posted it in the group. Didn't nobody respond. We kept talking about what excursions are we booking? What excursions are we booking?
Oh, yeah.
I'm booking the beach days. I was
gonna say, I don't know about you, but bitch, I wasn't. Listen, I am good laying and doing nothing.
Right. So I'm booking
that's what this is for
the
me.
layout. All you can drink beach days that include a meal.
Yeah, I'm not
interested. I'm not interested in exploring Turks and Caicos or the Dominican Republic.
Lay me on the beach.
Spread like a pat of butter. The only thing I'm interested in doing is potentially getting some new artwork for the walls. Because when I travel, I don't need to buy liquor. Yeah. So I'm not now. Also, I might get a bottle to a white Hennessy because I feel like I make some money off of that.
Sure. Now,
because I don't even drink Hennessy like that,
and it's horrible. White Hennessy is horrible to me.
Hennessy is disgusting to me, but you colors love it.
The white Hennessy is horrible. The regular Hennessy is not bad, but it's just. But anyway, there's
that time that Renai made that Hennessy pound cake.
That was cute.
Now, that was cute.
But there's this liqueur that I got. It was in a clear bottle, and it's like coffee colored. And I don't even know what it's called, but when I went on my first Caribbean cruise, wherever I went, I can't remember where we stopped at, but I got this liquor, and I want to say it was in St. Thomas, I think. But this liquor is amazing. Like, you mix it in a drink, you put over ice cream, like it's that type of liqueur. It's thick, and it almost reminds you of like
Kahlua.
It reminds you of Kahlua, but it's like with the cream in it, and it is that
Amarillo with the elephant on the cover?
I don't remember. Like, I remember the bottle was triangular shaped.
Yeah, that's something else.
And so it just looks a little different. But I just need to see. I need to see if I can find it again. So
Yeah.
But that was good.
So I'm gonna do that next week when I get back. Is go ahead and book those excursions. And other than that, let me keep it chill. I am going to talk to the boat to the ship people about reserving a room.
Oh, I was like,
one of the days for like our own little.
You gonna talk to the captain and be like, listen,
hey girl, hey,
what's up?
No,
sis.
But you can, like all of the lounges aren't necessarily busy in the evening, so I'm gonna just ask them how much it, or sometimes it's free, sometimes it's a cost. I'm gonna ask them. If they say it's like $50, maybe I'll get it. If they start talking money, then
like
I'm
thousands of dollars. Like
I'm be like, girl, we will just gather wherever they say the friend of Dorothy's are going to meet.
Where the friend of Dorothy's at?
That's where we're going to have it.
Yeah.
If it's in the library, perfect.
We'll be in the library.
Right.
A lot of reading.
The library is open, so good to go. So as usual, I have some interesting things to talk about. So
Eccentric got his flu. He got the flu.
He got everything he needs. He's too young to get the shingles vaccine, so he's good to go. So he should be ready to go.
It's the meningitis that's for me. I'm trying to at least get the first one, but
you should be fine. I'm
not. I don't. So let me be clear. No one plans on doing much of anything, but I do. I feel like,
but I'm,
no, I feel like I'm gonna
sand to the beach this time.
But I feel like I'm getting ready to be like, and where are you from?
Right.
And what are you doing? Okay. All right,
can I see your vaccine
can we have a conversation about that? But anyway, let's just jump right into some of this stuff that we have here because it's some of the funny stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we're going to start our show tonight.
This is how we're starting off.
So if somebody's having a birthday dinner, you all go and you all eat. When the bill comes, you all expect to what? Wrong. You shouldn't be splitting the bill at all. The person who invited you all for their birthday event should be paying the bill in totality. Absolutely. You wanted us here to celebrate you, you pay that bill. That's the problem. Y'all think that, if it's a birthday dinner, we're supposed to split the bill. No. The person who is hosting the event is supposed to pay. We're not in high school anymore. Get your pocketbook out and pay the bill.
The nigga was too stunned to speak. I
have so many questions, comments, concerns. And let's start with this. First of all, why is your nose? What's going on with your nose right now? Somebody done broke your nose for talking that bullshit because you got.
I thought they were pore strips, but either way, I feel like you could have waited until that was done.
If it's a pore strip, you could take it off. But maybe you got that nose broke for talking crazy,
talking foolishness.
You
know when you got your nose broke when you went out to dinner with somebody and the bill came and you dipped out. Or you tried to dip out when they were like,
that could have been it. But listen,
little cute brokey, we're all chipping in like $30 a piece.
Listen, maybe I'm just a man of a certain age, but I swear for God, that is not an expectation. Now, I understand that there are certain situations where you are saying this is what I'm doing for a group or for the crew or like. But you're just inviting people out to share a birthday dinner. I don't understand what that is. And so for me, even if you are the birthday person, you should still have your money to pay for what the fuck you order. Mm-hmm. But if the group, and we just had this conversation, if the group decides they're going to chip in and pay for it, that's something completely different. But if it's my birthday and I'm inviting people out, and maybe I need to be more clear now, like if it's my birthday and I'm saying, okay, we're going out, you will be responsible for your own bill. I mean, I'm just, maybe I need to put that out there.
I expect y'all to pay.
But I don't get where this is coming from. And I feel like I'm actually that old man now because I don't understand. This is not something where I feel like he's by himself. I feel like there's a whole generation of people.
Sure, there are a lot of broke people. I will just say this. Whenever the subject is dinner, regardless of if it's someone's birthday or we're just kikiing,
have your money
or whatever, I never leave my house without being prepared to pay. Even when it's my birthday, even if I said to everybody that's on this call or, on the line right now, plus us, and we all was like, hey, it's March 26th, it's my birthday, let's go out to dinner. I still have the money to pay for my share. Now, I would imagine that my friends would be like, Dominion, we got you. We will split it up.
Right.
But if y'all don't, I still got my share.
Right.
I have a friend who has it's not so much that he has money, but he works for a company that requires him to travel a lot, and he has an expense account that he kind of has to use.
Okay.
It's one of those use it or lose it.
Okay.
You know, they give you X amount of money, and if you don't use it, then next year you won't get as much. So when he comes to town, he almost always pays for dinner. But I never don't travel with my card and ready to go in case he's like, because there has been 1 or 2 times where he's like, oh, well, this is just this is just me and you hanging out. This is a work trip or whatever.
You know what, Desmond? Just let it go. Let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. Let it go.
No.
Just let it go.
But yeah, I would just never leave my house without having the money to pay for my meal.
Yeah.
And the entitled expectation that
it's very caring-y. It's very
very entitled to think that other people. It's different. I mean, I guess if I was throwing, so like for my 40th birthday, I threw myself a party here at my house. I ain't asked everybody to chip in on all of the food and drinks that I had at my house. But when we went out to dinner later, I was expecting at a minimum that everybody would pay their, even though it was my birthday, I was expecting that everybody would at a minimum pay their own portion.
Right.
And I was like, my friends are probably going to pay for my share too. But I had money to pay just in case.
Yep.
And let me just be clear. Occasionally, some broke bitch. Listen, we've all been broke. But when I'm broke, what do I not do? Go out to eat. Because when I don't have money, here's what I used to say up front. I don't have any money. And then depending on who the friend circle was, they were like,
don't worry
about it.
Come on.
Or
I'll catch you next time. Right. Catch you next time. Right.
But that's fine. And I've had people, who have been honest. It's like, hey, a dinner at Texas de Brazil sounds great, but I don't get paid for like 3 weeks or whatever. And I'm like, girl, don't worry about it.
Right.
I got you.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Right.
What you don't do
is get there and make the expectation after you had a full motherfucking meal.
Baby, I will tell you the name after the show. But there was this.
Oh yeah. But then he did that to me twice. But then that was what's the face?
No, it was.
But that's what they did though.
Who? Yes. That was his profession. Yes, he did that too. But this person that I'm talking about, we get there. We're having. So it was an event. We were there. We were into. I'm not going to be specific, but we were in a city for a leather event.
Right. So that could have been California.
Right. And so, Atlanta, after you know how we do, after we finished kikiing and cutting up for the day, we said, hey, we're all going to go out. It was like 30 of us. And we get and
bougie. See, this is exactly why. So so let me back up. Let me first start with this. I'm probably the worst person to RSVP for something because I will tell you whether I'm coming or not, but I'm the worst person to RSVP. But in that instance, and you're telling me this, I get it and I understand it, but I'd have been mad than a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'd have been mad than a motherfucker. But that's just me.
Yeah. But so we, so we're all like, hey, we're all going out to dinner. And so everybody sort of comes along and whatever. We get there and, the food comes or we order food. Everyone's eating, everyone's partying, everyone's bullshitting. And then when the bill comes, we're all, this is like a sort of a semi-common agreement that we're not going to have separate bills for 30 people. We're just going to take this total and divide it by X. And so most of the heads nodded. A couple of people was just like, well, okay, girl. So whenever people say shit like that, whenever we go out in a large group and there's always the person that's like, I don't want to split the bill. I always put them on a list. And you know what that list is? She don't get invited the next time. Do not call. Don't. And then they'd be like, hey, why did you know what? And I'd be like, oh, girl, I didn't see you over there. But no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
But no, always be prepared. But then, so to finish this story, he looked at me, he was like, I don't have any money. I was like, no, I don't know you don't have any money because I'm not in your pockets like that. That's not my business to know how much money you have. And you had an opportunity to say you don't have any money before when we all was getting ready to bounce and go to the spot. Because it wasn't like there was no way you accidentally found yourself at this table eating the food.
Which is another story because some of the girls is a little crafty. I don't like that type of shit either.
Yeah, so
like I'm here for the craft, but
all of that gets you uninvited from the list. And the girls that don't want to split the bill down,
pay their fair share.
Middle,
act like they ain't ate nothing.
Listen, here's also the thing for me. Again, we have all been broke. But even when I was broke, if I determined that I was going to do something, I'm not doing it broke bitch fashion. I might be broke. So what that meant is that if from the moment right now, 3 months from now, we're going to Atlanta for the weekend, I'm saving up my money. Because when we get to Atlanta, I'm not eating at McDonald's and Burger King.
Unless that's something I want.
Right. Which, I'm not staying in a hotel with 5,000 people. In college, it was a 2-person per bed rule. Once I got grown, it was a 1-person per bed rule.
And if you in this bed, there's going to be some head and everything else.
Right. But no. So I get not having money, but I don't get traveling broke because I can't. I'm never going to go somewhere and be worried that the lights aren't going to be on when I get home.
Ciao.
I mean, that's also the thing too. If I know that we're going to go out to a group thing, Accenture says if everyone ate around the same price, dividing seems logical. Here's the thing.
That is correct.
I know that if everybody got an entree.
Shut up, Desmond. Shut up, bitch. I'll tell you that story. I think I told y'all that, but anyway.
If I know that entrees are like $25 per person, and I decide to step my pussy up and get the $50 entree, I know that before we do the calculation of what everybody owe,
I did not have the 25.
No. Deduct my extra off of that. So I'm going to deduct my 20. If the bill is $1,000 for 100 people, so that's $10 a person. But I know that out of that, everybody else entree was like $5 to $7, but mine was $15.
Right.
I'm going to say, take 15 off of the top, then divide that number. And then, so I'm going to pay the share that everyone else pays plus my portion.
Right.
But then again, when we go out in a group like that, I'm not trying to floss. And it's generally, I mean, first of all, this sounds, bougie or whatever, but a lot of our brothers can't really afford super fancy places anyway. So we're not going someplace that's super fancy anyway. That's, for me, an Onyx dinner as a group is not the place to get the what do you call it? The tomahawk steak for $150. No.
You're there for the fellowship.
Right.
But so Desmond, I think I ever told you that story about me and Desmond.
$100 for the week.
Baby, listen,
sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and it's a good kiki and it's a good memory.
Picture it, 1990, like 8, 9, or 6? No, 1996.
So you weren't even 30,
something like that. Yeah. So me and Desmond at the last minute decided we was going to go on this trip to LA.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, but neither one of us.
DC?
No, we were. This is when I was living in Philadelphia. So this was
like the East Coast?
Yeah, from the East Coast.
And y'all only had $100?
Listen, bitch, it was this. Listen, but
1997.
1997. So here's the setup. The setup was one of my good Judies or Bristas at that particular point in time. Because right now we don't fuck with her. She worked for the airline. She got all these discounted tickets. So it's like she did like everything. So she got the ticket cheap because that was my thing. We both had that conversation. We were like, we don't have the money to pay for this or this or that or this or whatever. And so as a friend, he said, well, listen, I'll do this, this, and this. So that only leaves you to just have your spending money. So after we all sat down and totaled it up, we was like, bitch, we can make it happen, but bitch, it's going to be a tight thing. And so we made the decision at the last minute. We pulled the trigger.
So you could do that Rachel Ray $40 a day joint.
Listen, we didn't even do $40 a day. We got to LA, and bitch, when I tell you there was a Burger King across the street, and when I tell you we lived off of that dollar menu for the entire weekend, bitch, we was like, can I have a $1 this and a $1 that and a $1 this? Yes. So that's for breakfast. And then for lunch, can I have a $1 this and a $1 that? Dinner, $1.
But the adventure
was
fun.
everything, because we sat back and we said, bitch, how did we go to LA with like $100 each? Or was it 100? I think we had like, it was like maybe like 200.
Shit was also a lot cheaper.
It was an actual dollar menu.
Actually could not go. Is there actually a dollar menu now?
That's
for the
Burger King?
King?
It was an actual dollar menu at that particular point. It was the best trip we ever had. We was broke to the motherfucker, but we got in all the club. Well, that was the other thing. We got in all the club. Bitches, listen, when you young and everything's high and tight, and you know a person here, you may have rubbed up on them a little bit, and they let you in. And listen, the girl, we was all doing everything we need to do. Shit, Desmond had been off of the plane for maybe 20 minutes, and goddamn it, he done ran into some piece and did some few things, and I was like, God damn it, bitch, we just got off the plane. So again, we had a great time. We had an absolute great time. But I will not do that now.
Fast forward
in
20
2022.
years.
We are actually having this conversation now where it's like, do we want to stay in the same room or do we want to get different rooms? And we always have these type of conversations because it's like, at the bare minimum, bitch, we need our own beds. Like, that's what we need. So it's that sort of thing. But, you grow over time and you understand. But I appreciate it for what it was then, because it was a wonderful time.
could have done that then, and I could envision what that would look like as a solo trip. Or maybe with one or two friends.
That's right. You was giving Blondelia at that point.
Right.
So he had listen.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if we all broke, and so therefore there is no expectation outside, inside the group that people are going to have money, then that's fine, because it's about the adventures that we have. And that's also 1997. So we was 26 years old then. Right. At double that age, that's not happening. First of all, I'm not staying in the same places. I mean, I don't.
Oh no, but we stayed at the W, but it was 4 of us in a room.
But the 4 of you at the W is cute, because that's still 2 people per bed.
Yeah, it was the 4, but all of us didn't sleep in the bed every single night because we was all out whoring.
Of course,
bitch. And listen, we pulled this one thing. We went downstairs. Actually, it really started off as an accident. We went downstairs and they said
an accidental stunt.
Let's call it that.
The accidental stunties.
Because the accidental stunties. So because we went downstairs and we thought that breakfast was included. So it was a huge spread. And me and one of our friends went downstairs. We had this whole table full, bitch. We was fucking shit up. So between
that and the dollar menu,
bitch, we fucked that shit up. And when I got back upstairs, they had politely rung the room. They were like, excuse us, but you left out with the tip and without with the bill. And I was like, what do you mean a bill? They were like, that was not a part of the breakfast menu. That was a separate, you have to pay for it. And I was like, what? But they said it was all included. They were like, no. So literally the girl was like, listen, we're going to go ahead and let this go
for tonight.
But do know going forward. But bitch, when I say we had one old fab spread, bitch, it was like roast beef and we just all types of shit. Listen, we had one old groovy time.
I have done.
That's right. You did get weed from the police. Sorry,
that story was a lot. It's a lot. I want to hear this.
It's a lot. This was our 20s. It was 26, and we were just doing all types of dumb shit, like just stupid shit. Like but we had yellow panties at the beach. So Desmond didn't have. I'm not gonna say didn't have. He wore a pair of yellow bikini briefs, bikini brief underwear on the beach as his underwear. But they were very thin and
of course. And the kids went.
They went in, and he had this blonde hair. And bitch, meanwhile, I'm on the other side with this sarong on, and I'm trying to wrap shit up. And listen, we had a great time. We had a great time. We had a great time.
Now that I think about it, I did have an LA trip on the cheap. Picture it. 2 or 3 years after, it was 2000.
Okay.
I said, you know what, bitch? I need a summer vacation.
Bitch, is this the one where you stayed at the hotel?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So I had Delta Sky Miles. So I used Delta Sky Miles and Sky Miles my ass to LAX. I found a car, not at National, not at Hertz, but cheap bitches, Fox or some cheap bitches rent a cars are us.
Right.
And so basically I got this little Pontiac Grand Am for a week because I was there for a solid 8 days.
Okay.
And it only cost me $10 a day.
Bitch, wasn't that amazing when rental cars
Okay.
were $10 a day?
And the gas was 75 cents a gallon.
Jesus.
So that was cheap. And then I stayed at the Econo Lodge on Ventura Boulevard. So she was kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
But the beds was clean, everything was cute. There was a place for me to park my car in front of the hotel and everything. I didn't feel it was downtown, so it was like, how downtown LA can be, but it wasn't like Skid Row, so I didn't feel like unsafe. It was not a fancy hotel, but it was fine. It was centrally located. Everything was what I needed to be, and the hotel they had like a daily rate, but then they had a weekly rate, and it was only like $95 for the 7 days that I stayed there because I got like a weekly rate.
Damn. Okay.
So baby, I took this whole trip for like $250.
That works. That actually works.
And all of that was paid up front ahead of time. So it was almost like I didn't have to pay anything when I got there. Yep. And so when I got there, I mean, and that's when I met the cutie that was the first time I ever met someone who came from his ass and who creamed. Yeah. And I was like, this is fascinating.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yes.
Maybe we fucked and we fucked and we fucked and we fucked. And then he was like, I need to go get he was like, I'm really having a good time with you. And I said, I'm really having a good time with you. I was young enough not to, because I had no plans to whore around the whole weekend.
Maximus, I think you were there. I'm gonna come back to it. Go ahead.
So he was like, do you mind if I stay for a couple more days? I was like, sure, because I could always kick him out if he.
Yeah.
So we drove to his house. Oh, girl, he lived out in Orange County, baby. It took us like 2.5 hours to get there.
Oh, geez.
And 2.5 hours to get back. But then we fucked for the rest of the week. I fucked him so much till like my back was numb and my feet was numb. And we went out and had a good time. And then when we got home, that bitch ghosted me. But I didn't give a fuck because I had an absolutely
you had the time of my life.
Yes, Dominion. It wasn't Dominion then. It was just old fashioned. This was good old fashioned Brian on a low budget trip, and I had a wonderful time. But again, that was in 2000. 22 years later.
Yeah, no.
If someone was like, hey, we're going to LA, I was like, cute. And they're like, we're staying in an Econo Lodge.
Not me.
You're staying in an Econo Lodge.
Not me.
I am not laying my head in anything less than
a Marriott or a DoubleTree, at least because even if it's a Spring Hill Suites or Marriott related, I can work with that.
But I will tell you, if you ever want to travel and save a coin, always stay at an Embassy Suites because you get a breakfast in the morning. You get a cute little, get the cute little bar, open bar happening. And
in the evening,
and all of the rooms are like the 2-room suites, so it's good for 4 to 6 people.
That's what we did.
Because you could get because the room will have 2. You can get the 1 or 2 beds, so you can get the 2 queen size beds. That's 4 people in it, and then you got the fold out sofa. Now, I'm not saying that I would stay in that room. I'm just saying that is an available option. Because like during COVID, when we had to have a staycation for the slave's birthday, we took our asses right up to the Embassy Suites in Tyson's Corner. Got free breakfast. It was cute. It was a cute little layout. We explored. There's like a lovely botanical gardens and shit out there. There was all kinds of stuff out there in Tyson's Corner area that I didn't discover. So, I mean, I had, as I said, Freaky Big Nasty, that was in 2000. This is 22 years later.
Right.
My coins is different and my back is different.
Right. Maximus, were you? I think you were there. Desmond, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you were there in LA with us when Desmond had the blonde hair and we was out. Matter of fact, I think this is the place where I wound up. We went to a sex party. Picture, we're at a sex party. We going through the crowd, it's dark as shit, and I found this little piece, and I was like, oh my God, this is good. We started fucking, I was fucking, we was getting down. I'm like, listen, and I happened to look up on the other end, and I was like, is that my sister? It's like, bitch, what?
So y'all was Eiffel Towering someone?
Yes, God. But
Okay.
listen, I wasn't finished. So I was like, I don't give a fuck what you get ready to do, but I'm very finished. So let me get myself together. I think that was that trip. I'm almost positive it was that trip. I think it was. No, bitch, Maximus. No. That's to be more specific. Maximus and I were in LA one time, and we went out to the motherfucking little bathhouse, whatever. We was all hanging out.
The one in Silver Lake?
I can't remember where it was. It was somewhere in LA. I don't remember. It's so long ago. But all I do know
Like
is
is it like Slammers?
It's the one that has like rooms in it, and it has a downstairs basement, had a big open bed.
This is a different one.
This is a different one. Okay. And so, as a matter of fact, I think it was part of Club Body, because when I got there, was that Florida? That was in Florida when we were there. It wasn't in LA. I think that was in Florida. But anyway, I look up and I'm walking through some of the rooms.
Speaking of bathhouses, look who just joined us.
I'm looking through the rooms. Who is that? Mark. Okay. Oh, okay. Hey.
Yeah.
And so when I looked,
Child, that says bonded. I thought that said Maximus and I boned that weekend.
No,
I was like, oh, that's Kai.
No, I walked past the room and bitch, the door was open, and here it is. Maximus's ass is on the damn bed getting down with this boy who's sitting down, and I was like, bitch, is that dick I see? And it was like just in my face. I was like, bitch, this, you done put my eye out, bitch. I can't, like, bitch. Ugh.
Oh, sorry. My bad. We'll fix that in post.
Hey. But anyway, yes, we've had some fun times traveling.
Yes. And again,
yeah.
Money doesn't have to be bitch,
shut up. You ain't gotta tell everybody that shit.
The point is, from that last video, we say, yeah, don't take your ass out if you're broke. That's true if we're going out to a certain kind of place, but I am never shading someone for not having money.
No, not at all.
I'm just expecting you to make adult decisions based on the level of coins in your pocket.
Yeah.
And if the level of coins in your pocket doesn't allow you to, party and bullshit, then just say so, because especially if you're out with the brothers, usually if you say to me, one person, now don't all of y'all, but if one person that I know, because if we got to know each other, because you can't just have a back patch on. But if you and I are friends as well as brothers, you're like, hey, and I'm like, hey girl, we can ready to go to dinner. And he's like, yeah, I didn't budget for that for this trip. Sorry, girl, come on, we got you.
Yeah.
But don't be crazy when you get there. Don't be ordering the tomahawk steak.
But you're not getting a tomahawk steak.
Yeah, but no. Right? So we've all been broke. We've all had good times without money.
Absolutely.
But and I'm not at all saying that you can't have it without it. But again, govern yourself according to your pocket, and don't expect anybody else to pick up for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this next video. Now, this may reveal a generational divide.
Once again,
when Deborah Cox asked, how did you get here? Which of the following is the appropriate response?
Bitch, I caught the bus.
Bitch, I caught the bus.
Now, I remember when this song by Deborah Cox came out, and when she says, how did you get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. I tried that loving for the last time. My heart says no.
Okay,
that's all I know. But anyway, so I just knew that the answer to that was when Deborah Cox says, how did you get here? The next line is how nobody's supposed to be here.
And
but apparently the young people are saying, bitch, I caught the bus. And I was like, oh my God. I'm the old bitch now.
Old bitch party of two. Because I listen. I don't know nothing
Eccentric
about
said,
this.
when did this shit start? Might have said, I have never heard that shit before and I'm young.
Hey, baby boy.
But like all of those people said it, and I was just like, oh, okay, there's that.
Yeah, that's where we are. Like, I just old bitch party too.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, there we are.
So,
this last one.
This last thing is it's more of a homage, not even homage, but just highlighting the accomplishments and just the utter beauty
slayage
that she actually has done, at this point in time in her career.
So first of all, I want to say, if you haven't seen The Woman King,
I have not
you
yet.
should make time to go see it for a couple of reasons. One, it's a really good movie. It is historically inaccurate because they sort of downplayed in the movie the role that the Dahomey tribe or nation played in the slave trade. Mm-hmm. They were an active participant in the slave trade. Like when they conquered other local tribes, they sold them into slavery. And it wasn't, at least from what I know, I am not a historical expert, but from what I know, it wasn't we've been doing this for thousands of years. They knew what these people were being sold into. So it's not totally accurate, but the movie itself is fabulous. Viola Davis acts her fucking face off.
All the time.
Lashana Lynch did fab job.
So eccentric.
The visuals of the movie were good. The choreography, the dance, they're really like battle dance numbers.
Is it capoeira? I think it is capoeira.
Something like that.
Something like that. Okay.
But it was a lovely movie, and I saw it before I knew all of the. I knew who the Dahomey Nation were, and I knew who the Amazon warriors of the Dahomey people were. So I knew that part. I did not know the totality of that.
Okay.
So maybe that will inform your decision. I still think it was a great movie. I think Viola Davis will be in Oscar contention.
Good.
For this movie. So, but we are here to talk about this photo shoot.
Was this for
Elle Brazil?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Listen, absolutely just stunning.
We'll just go through these pictures and then
FYI eccentric.
Oh, it did the wrong
FYI
thing.
Eccentric. That's one of the. I haven't. This movie speaks to me, and I want to see it, but for some reason it doesn't. I don't see myself running to the movies to go see it. Now I'm going to go and see it. I'm going to go put my money in so that everyone can get their credit for it.
Right.
But it was not on my list of things to run and go see.
Black H has a good point. The way Hollywood bastardizes history is part of so many people are ignorant about everything now. I've heard consistently that it's a good movie though. And that's true. I mean, whether it's African history, European history, I mean, the shit that they talk about in, there was a movie, Marco Polo, that shit didn't actually happen. The story, I fucking love The Crown. Most of that shit, I mean, there are obviously historical events like the crowning of Queen Elizabeth and, the marriage of Charles and Diana. But no one was there for those conversations. So all of that dialogue and shit is,
Come on, Tyra.
It's not a documentary.
Right.
It's a movie. I felt good after watching the movie, seeing so many powerful Black people, Black women who had agency. They weren't who they were because of the men in their life. They we got to see so many different kinds of Black beautiful womanhood, because some of the women are not what you would consider traditionally beautiful, at least by European standards, or conventional is the right word. But they look like our cousins,
Right.
and our mothers, and our sisters, and our aunties. And it's good. I don't think that, I mean, Viola Davis is a beautiful woman, but everybody don't look like Viola Davis. I thought it was great that a lot of different kinds of Black womanhood were showcased. Everybody in Africa ain't dark skinned. I mean, there's probably not in that time in the world. There's no light skin, at least not in that part of Africa. Ain't no light skin, with a silky press running around. But we run the gamut of body types, and it showed that in order to be athletic, you don't have to be a stick, because there was some of these women warriors were thick women, and they were still killing bitches and cutting it up too.
Cut a bitch up.
So this first photo is gorgeous.
Yeah.
This one,
this one I'm not necessarily. I like the dress. But I was like, this photo, I was like,
I like the scale, the way it's like dragon scales.
Right.
I love the way that it lays.
This is when I was kind of like, it's like one of my ones I didn't particularly. It wasn't high on my list. Now this I adored, because
you could tell that she worked out.
She's giving straight up statue in this. It was like, I like this one as well. The drama.
I love a hat.
The drama alone, and this hat is fucking amazing. It looks like it's like a shark took a bite out of it.
A Black A said that dress is giving armadillo. It is, but in a cute way.
But listen, that shark took a bite out of that motherfucker, but she is sitting there posed, and that chin is up, that head is held high.
Right.
I'm all in.
Yes,
I'm all in for this black patent leather, for this split. I'm all in for this regal hairdo. She's sitting there like, looking like, bitch, what? What? Too much? Too swishy?
Right.
And I adore
the thing
the
that I
shoes.
love. The shoe
It's the
is
shoes
giving me life.
On
this shoe. I loved it. And then I think there's like one more. This was actually a bust that they did for her as part of the photo shoot.
I like it. I think it's cute.
Yeah. It was everything for me.
Yeah. We're not gonna talk. Listen, we're not gonna talk about Megan's hat at their funeral. It looked good on her, but it was just a regular hat. It didn't really jump out.
It was that's what it is. It was nothing special about the hat per se. It was the slayage of her wearing it, and that black cape dress.
Yes.
That she had on.
Now that I did like the whole look of it. Yes, there were some slayage.
And people are like, she only shed the one tear. I was like, girl, this woman cannot succeed. Y'all don't want her there. But then when she shows up, because according to reports, she got along fine with the queen. I mean, she may have just said that because she needed to say that, because that's her husband's grandmother.
Right.
But she apparently got along fine with the queen. And like, if you watch The Crown or pay attention to that stuff, first of all, the British monarchy she ain't had the power to say off with your head.
Right.
She was a figurehead with lots of money. So they told her a lot what to do. So from all intents and from all reports, Meghan got along fine with the queen. And actually Prince Philip, who died too.
Yeah.
It was Charles and his horse-faced wife and the other one. And also, I'm not too mad at Camilla too. I was like,
what's her title? Queen Consort?
Queen Consort, because she
Queen Consort.
I don't get into it. That's where my knowledge stops. Because Black people that get too deep into it, sort of. I like the Crown because it's the drama for me.
Okay.
The drama, the human drama. That's an interesting thing to me, and it's about people that we grew up with. I mean, when we were born, Elizabeth had already been on the throne for 20 years. There's lots of people who lived their whole entire life with this woman, at least a fixture in the background. So it's interesting to me. Diana was nice and, whatever. And so, but I'm not into it. Like when the girls be like, well, actually, he's the third Prince Mountbatten. And I'm like, girl, I don't care. And it's a little weird that you as a Negro are super invested in this.
Listen, my very gay uncle, who I think is the gayest man in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's a homosexual. I could understand. But Sydney would probably have known all of those.
I think him and Sydney did know each other. I should say. But anyway, when Diana died, he was in tears. He was like, "Oh my God, what is going on?" And I'm like,
a lot of people connected with Diana.
Yes, but
he didn't. A lot of gays because she actually touched gay people, and
yes, but he connected with her. Not because of that, but because she was the queen or I'm sorry, not the queen, the princess.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had to pull myself together and not laugh in his face, but I was kind of, I was like, but again, you're talking about somebody who his house, when he decorates his house, is all done in Swarovski crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Every ornament on his tree is Swarovski. Like he has, that's what he does. And it's beautiful, but it's like, okay, this is a lot. Yeah. But yes, the consort, she's side piece Sally, as Nichelle said, and she's also goals for some of these side pieces out here. Camilla as the queen's consort, that's the goal for her.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, lots of human relationships don't work out.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at her.
Oh yeah.
She's stuck with it, and
this is where we are.
That's the thing. Camilla was there before Diana, though. That was an arranged marriage. So I'm not saying, Diana was a side piece, but I'm saying it's not as if Charles found some random woman on his tour or whatever. If it had been up to him, he would have married Camilla.
Yes. He would have married Camilla. And Diana was actually the lesser of two evils, even though I think Camilla had more royal pedigree.
No, she absolutely had no royal pedigree.
Is that what
her mother? I hate that I know this much about it, but Camilla's grandmother was a courtesan, which is like a royal. She was the mistress of Camilla's grandmother was the mistress of Charles's great grandfather.
But Diana,
so King whoever,
right? King was it? Not George.
But I'm saying all she was the child. She's the grandchild of a mistress. Diana and Charles are both related to King James or King George or somebody.
Whatever, y'all. Anyway.
So that hat, it was cute and everything, but I think it was more the woman wearing the hat and knowing how to style it and pull the look together. Because another person could have worn that same hat and
it'd have been like up on the top of their head and back and around their ears or some shit.
Right.
It's like, girl, this is not you're supposed to slay this hat. When you
it's about how to hold your face,
hold your head, be into camera, know your angles. That's what you do. And she did all of that.
Yeah.
Even when she cried, she flicked that one tear, and she said, that head stayed right where it's supposed to be. So I'm here for her. Good job, man.
All right, so let's get into your stories.
So listen, let's talk about it. When
what you said, if I'm a stick beside him was a whole British woman.
Oh, okay.
And listen, I would too, because the person that you're sticking beside is going to be. I mean, he was going to be king one day. I mean,
Can you imagine?
Some of you motherfuckers are sticking beside, Charles the milkman, which I mean, nothing wrong with being a milkman or the UPS.
That's Charlie Wilson. That's what it is.
Right. That's Charlie Williams, the milkman. He was like, girl, my side piece is going to be king one day.
Can you imagine the princess if she was still here? She would have been the queen. She would have been one of the most beloved queens.
I don't think so. I think that
had they stayed married.
The reason that she was beloved was one, because she died. And when people die, people always sentimentalize, because lots of people liked her when she was alive, but there were lots of British people who did not care for her when she was alive. And if she had learned to play ball like the rest of the royals, because that's the only way she could have done it. She couldn't have the only way for her and Charles to stay married would have been for her to do what
Camilla.
William's wife, Kate,
Oh.
is doing, is learn to play ball. And then if she had done that, she would have just become part of the problem, part of the reason people hate the monarchy. So I think if she had been alive today, she would be, they would,
I don't know.
I don't know, but
I don't know.
She's dead, so God rest her spirit.
Yeah, God rest
so.
her. But I feel differently, but hey, it's okay.
I just history has said that when people die, look at how many people have these fond memories of Martin Luther King. But when Martin Luther King was alive,
King was a cheating. He was a cheating.
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just saying that the mood of the country when Martin Luther King was alive, even a lot of black people didn't care for Martin Luther King, and most white people certainly did not care for Martin Luther King. But now that he is dead, he is beloved by everyone.
And my whole point is he was a cheating soul, and as the head of the church.
Oh yeah, he was
pastor,
certainly, he was
spreading it low and dipping it low,
he was
and spreading
dipping
it
it low
wide.
and spreading it wide.
So,
and so he had a lot going on. So, but I mean, having
most
been friends with a number of pastors are nothing but human beings.
They are, very much so. And for some strange reason, I have a target on my forehead, and most of the pastors that I've met in my life have been trying to do things in the pulpit.
Charles looks better now. I let him touch my butt for a ladyship. He absolutely does not look like he is better now. Have you seen those sausage fingers? And that red skin?
We're going on to another subject. So listen, Wendy Williams is back in the news. She entered a wellness center. So her struggles with addiction amid her entering a wellness facility and have been in the spotlight lately. And it's been reported that her habits had taken a toll to the point where she even forgets her talk show has been canceled. As scary as it sounds, and
when they say habits, are they implying that?
Let me finish.
Sorry.
Yeah, let me finish. So they're saying that, as scary as it sounds, a new and even scarier story has emerged. A source with Page 6 recalling a time that they discovered the host in a life or death situation. The source was apparently among a group of friends who found her in a catatonic state in her New York City apartment in May of 2020. They said it was pretty much a mess. She was a mess. She was in a robe. It was soiled. She was catatonic. And again, she was just in a bad space. Her former manager, Bernie Young, reportedly didn't want to call 911 and alert the public to her condition, but others present insisted. They were saying that she's going to die, that her husband was apparently able to convince his ex-wife to accept the help of Ron Clinton, the head of her former sober team, and her friend DJ Booth drove her to the hospital, where the source says she received 2 blood transfusions because her iron was so low. They also said that as he returned to her apartment afterwards, he threw out a lot of her alcohol. And the first source said that had they not intervened, again, she probably wouldn't be alive today. So yes, they are absolutely saying that she was drinking again, and that she was just not in a good space.
Yeah.
So listen, prayers go out to her and her family. Hope you for a speedy recovery, and hope you are at least well enough to just function as a person again. Not with your show, but just as a person.
Bougie is still on that King Charles shit. It's the silver hair. All right. Listen, I am not shading anybody for what turns them on. And if they got money, so much the better. So
yeah, Tyra, you got money.
But
girl.
you saw how he did want to touch that black man's hand in the receiving line. He was like, hello.
Listen.
Yeah, so I wouldn't hold my breath.
I'm leaving that alone. Kelly Ripa. So there was a rumor out that she had almost died while having sex with her husband, Mark Consuelos, who is fine. That man is fine. Okay. So listen, the Shade Room reported that she denied rumors that she almost died while having sex with her husband at Jimmy Buffett's house. And so this is all stemming from a misunderstanding, she said, that landed her in the hospital after a romantic rendezvous. So she says she fired back at the accusations, and in her forthcoming book, she's 51, by the way, which I didn't realize that she's our age, says she woke up in a hospital with 2 ovarian cysts after coming to following the impassioned interlude. She said that the story takes place 6 months after the birth of her first child back in 1997, when she and her husband were enjoying a little early morning sex. She then reportedly lost consciousness due to the two large cysts growing on her ovaries. She said that, or she wrote in the book, sex can be so traumatic, I think, and yet one of us, her husband, is completely undaunted. First of all, what type of traumatic sex are you having? But then I had to, I was gonna say, but then I had to think about it. I was like, you know what?
Must got a third leg.
It could be that. It could be some impact. They could be a little kinky. They could be doing all types of things. So I don't know. So I'm not even in your bedroom. But listen, we're glad that you were able to find your cysts and to get them removed, and you are still here, and you did not die because of sex.
Yes.
So we hope for that.
I will say that I'm glad that she clarified that this was not at Jimmy Buffett's house, because I'm like, that's tacky. Unless we're having a sex party, you are not to be. So I'll take that back. So if we're having a sex party, okay, then everyone's having sex.
Right.
Or if you are staying the night, or, like if you're visiting or whatever, and you got your own room, not sleeping on the sofa.
Right.
If you've got your own room, yes. But if you're just like when I have cookies and cocktails,
somebody stays on the couch, you wake up the next morning, they're downstairs.
And they're fucking, no, girl, no.
But yes, that's why I'm like, no, they can fuck. They married, and they got their own room, I'm sure.
Right. Right. Yeah, I'm sure Jimmy Buffett's house has enough rooms for them to be. So, I mean, I guess it's okay then.
So, speaking of sex and everything else sex related, listen, if any of you have ordered any sex toys and they are late, maybe this is why. So, according to TMZ, a semi-trailer hauling sex toys and lubricant overturned on an Oklahoma highway last week, spilling its love load all over the place, leaving reporters and anchors' mouths agape. So the indecent exposure happened on I-40 on the outskirts of Oklahoma City, where the 18-wheeler got into an accident with another truck, leaving boxes of dildos on the road. So one local TV news station, KWTV News 9, had its helicopter over the scene, and the report from the sky was absolutely hilarious, they said. Hard to tell if the reporter and anchors actually knew what was filling the screen, but they definitely skirted calling out the products. Now, when the camera zooms in, some of the phallic merch was pretty evident. So whether they were in boxes or naked, so it made for some very funny camera time, even if it was inadvertent. So that's where we are at this particular point. So check on your orders for your sex toys. So if you're doing love-ins or if you're doing anything, just check on them. See if they made it to, they on their way. They might have to be rerouted or whatever. Speaking of sex toys, this young lady might need to purchase one now, and she can probably purchase one of her ex-husband. So Love and Hip Hop's Safari and Eric Mena, they finalized their divorce. Erica
Who are these people now?
Erica Mena and Safari. They were both on Love and Hip Hop. Safari is the one that supposedly has a huge dick. Huge. And if I remember correctly, he was dating Nicki Minaj at one point.
Okay, that's how the name sounds vaguely familiar.
Right. So their marriage has been dissolved, and they now Erica filed for divorce back in May of 2021. Erica was reportedly requesting primary physical custody of their daughter Sapphire, but had reportedly agreed to share joint legal custody of Sapphire with Safari. And she also sought to retain exclusive use of the couple's home. If you recall, Erica and Safari's home was burglarized last May. They had a very rocky relationship. Everything seemed to be going smoothly in court. And in the term, Safari will pay Erica $43.05 a month in child support for their children, Sapphire and Legend. It's unclear what the finalized custody agreement is, but reports show the two have been living separately since the filing. And also, Erica will be dropping Samuels and return to her maiden name of Mena. Now, do I feel like this $43.05?
I mean, it's a nice piece, but that's not huge.
They made it talk about like it was like the biggest thing ever, and I was like, it is nice. It looks thick and girthy though, but it's,
it looks thick. It looks like it could satisfy you, but
yeah, it looks thick and girthy. But like, is it the biggest dick ever? No, I've had DNA appointments that was bigger than that.
Well, we know that.
Well, I'm just saying. But anyway, speaking of being underwhelmed,
I mean, I was whelmed. I mean, it's a nice piece. I'm sure, I have a lazy jaw, so I'm sure I would struggle to accommodate it.
But you didn't struggle to accommodate.
I mean,
I'm not trying to tell you business or nothing like that. I'm just saying.
But you are though.
But you talked about this.
You're saying it right into the microphone.
I mean, what you talked about on the show, how you touch your drawer and get lazy when you.
I mean, I was,
you were enamored.
Yeah, I had
okay.
I was motivated.
Okay, listen,
nothing about Safari motivates me like that.
Okay, I get it. So speaking of, like I said,
he has a vinegary undercarriage. Not really. His undercarriage doesn't look vinegary. It looks musty.
No, it didn't look musty.
It looks musty.
In fact, it looked like it would be a pleasant smell.
No, I'm just talking about him as a person. He looks musty to me.
Well, to each his own.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of being underwhelmed,
we know that's not a problem for you.
Yeah, Sheree Whitfield, otherwise known as the owner and the creator of She by Sheree.
Emphasis on tricks.
So she went on to explain that She by Sheree's prices and some of the designs were that were similar to other fashion brands. She went on a defensive post about this. So she's been building anticipation for her lifestyle brand, She by Sheree, since 2008. And on September 4th, the season 14 finale of Real Housewives of Atlanta, that's when they debuted Sheree's latest attempt at launching her brand. Following the episode, She by Sheree's website went live. Okay, but the site instantly experienced HTML issues due to overwhelming interest, Sheree claimed. Not only that, the fans noticed two things about the long-awaited line: high prices and designs seen before. Now, before long, the brand was targeted with critical chatter across social media platforms. People compared her designs to items sold on Shein and Amazon. And additionally, some scoffed at her pricing items, such as T-shirts upwards of $100 and $200. And in recent interviews with Yahoo, with Yahoo's In the Know, Sheree has finally addressed the backlash surrounding her launch. Sheree blames private label for duplicating designs licensed to brand. The entrepreneur spoke to Gibson Johns over 20 minutes, mainly focusing on her brand, and the conversation about the comparisons to fast fashion brands such as Shein came up at one point. Rather than ignore the question, Sheree admitted to licensing designs. She claimed that her team encouraged her to add licensed pieces in the mix with her custom pieces in order to offer different price points. Yeah.
First of all,
yeah.
What did you design? As I've said before, a T-shirt, this is a design. She wasn't given all of that. It said it was just words in color on a T-shirt.
But wait.
So that's not a design to me. So you're giving a lot. I mean, yeah, license design, all of that, blah, blah, blah. But,
But it goes into, it gets more. I need to go into the, it gets more. Because she has this conversation about how she is signing every T-shirt that has a signature on it, and she's doing it by hand. She doesn't do that for free. And so I'm sitting here saying to myself, Sheree,
one, that's dumb.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Right. One, that's dumb. If that's accurate, that is dumb as shit. Because now every shirt has a unique quality to it. Because let's just be real. When you're doing that, you'd sign your name once, and they do a silk screen of that signature and then print a ton of shirts. But if you're doing an individual signature on each shirt, which I don't believe, that means each shirt is a unique screen print, and that's just highly inefficient.
She said,
and I'm not paying that much for your signature.
She said that it don't come for free.
It don't come. Oh, girl, whatever. Anybody, you dummies can buy She by Sheree if you want. I'm not the one. I've honestly just never been that person, even when I was a kid. And like when designer jeans and shit first came out, that shit was never important to me.
I can't say that for myself because I was there. I remember
you were that girl.
I remember I was in third grade, and I wanted a pair of Jordache jeans, and my mother bought me a pair of Jordache jeans. And of course, at that particular point in time, I was short and wide, so she couldn't buy them in the kids section. She had to buy them in the men's section. So I think at that time, I was like in third grade. I think I wore like a size 34 or something like that as a kid. And so when we got them home, she was like, "We have to get them hemmed." then she got mad because she was like, I'm cutting off half the motherfucking jeans. So I understood. She's like, I'm cutting these motherfuckers in half. But listen, them Jordache jeans, when I put them things on, baby, I went to school.
You felt so sexy,
listen,
didn't you?
I didn't even wear them to school because I was in Catholic school and I couldn't wear jeans to school.
Mm-hmm.
But when I put them on, I wore it. Bitch, listen, you couldn't tell me shit. You couldn't tell me nothing. Nothing at all. Because I got to get back over into
Freaking McNasty. I never had a pair of Sergio Valente jeans. No Jordache. First of all, I was fat, so as a kid, so it was all not the Levi's, but Lee
or Toughskins.
Toughskins, yes, because those, you could get those in husky sizes and stuff. And so just growing up, since that wasn't something that was really open to me.
Mm-hmm.
I never really lusted for those sorts of things. And even like people that wear jewelry and stuff. I mean, I remember coming home and saying to my my mother that, I wanted a fat gold chain like Run DMC and Flavor Flav, and she was like, absolutely not. And this was the 80s. And, it ain't like now where, you can be like, but mom. So, because sometimes you could say, let's have a, but mom, the way the conversation was framed was absolutely not. And this is not up for discussion. This is a closed subject.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so that was that. And I wasn't stupid enough. I mean, my mother was a stay-at-home mom, so there was no like sneaking it in the house and then wearing it, when she went off to work wearing it. No, it was none of that. So when the answer came back, absolutely not, or whatever it was she said exactly, the gist of it was that this was a closed conversation. So I never really got into wearing jewelry, bracelets, rings, any of that as a kid. So
can you go ahead and go with the
so while we're gonna come back to She by Sheree in a minute.
Well, no, that's it. We're not going anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So our last story, Cardi B is garnishing blogger Tasha K's account for $3 million owed after she made those false prostitution accusations. If you'll remember, a couple of months ago, we talked about the $3 million settlement that Cardi got. She started the process to seize property and assets owned by the blogger who falsely accused her of having herpes and being an escort. She's filed the paperwork in Georgia to start the process of collection.
In Georgia.
She also accused. She said, Cardi B said the accusations were not only false but caused her emotional distress, and she provided medical records that proved Cardi did not have the STD. And Tasha filed a countersuit accusing Cardi of having her fans threaten her online. The blogger's case was dismissed with the court ruling there was not enough evidence to proceed. The Georgia jury wasted no time after hearing testimony from both sides and awarded Cardi B $1 million in general damages and $250,000 for medical expenses for a grand total of $1.25 million. On top of that, Cardi walked away with $1.5 million in punitive damages and another $1.3 for her attorney's fees. She filed an appeal. Tasha filed an appeal of the judgment. She recently, Cardi filed to garnish Tasha's accounts at Chase Bank to collect, and the document said Cardi is owed a total of $3.3 million from Tasha. Cardi demanded Chase and its employees hold all of Tasha's property, money, wages, and other assets, including property and safe deposit boxes or similar property. Tasha went back to court pleading for the federal judge to step in. She argued the appeal is still pending and collections aren't allowed until a decision is made. Tasha pleaded with the court to stay the execution, but the judge has yet to rule. What is the lesson from this?
Listen, eccentric said Tasha K's pulling stunt queen. She wrapped the scarf around her head, posted a pic, and said she lives in Morocco now.
Is that for real? Did she really do that? But yeah, I guess the bottom line is don't say shit that you came back up.
Now, this is another interesting comment.
Oh, it says Tasha K denies rumor that Cardi B made her flee to Africa. So apparently she did.
Well, so it's interesting for one of these comments that a Black H says, Tasha K is an example of how a narcissistic ego can come back to bite you. All she had to do from the start was delete the YouTube videos and stop talking about her, and we wouldn't be here.
Right. Very that. Her real name is Latasha Transrena Kabe.
Transrena?
That's her middle name is Transrena.
What is that?
I don't know. Girl.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know anything. All I know is that
Kabe. Isn't that sounds African or like
maybe I don't know what she is. I'd never heard of this person before, but as a Black Eight says, all you had to do was take the videos down, and this would have been a whole wrap. But no, you insisted.
Now you sitting there, but you getting locked out your house. You ain't got no access to your bank account. They doing a Wendy Williams.
And your ass is in Africa, so you try to flex. And listen, the girls she's in Africa. Like, I'll pay you next week. No, sister. You will pay me today.
You will pay me today, or you will
be out tomorrow.
Yes. And YouTube, I know, is probably shut down her channel.
Yeah, because they don't want to be associated with that.
Yeah, they probably So,
because if that'd be the next person to sue. Is like you're allowing this woman a platform to spread knowing falsehoods.
Yeah. So,
any
episode 4. You know what? You're a clown. You're a clown. You're an absolute clown.
So let's get into this beautiful bean footage.
Yes, indeedy.
That's the guest Wi-Fi. Hey, well, thank you all for joining. It's been a lovely afternoon. I should have some interesting stories next week for the trip to Atlanta.
Is this a story?
No, girl, that is not a story. Okay. That is juice. I know.
I was like, girl, what the? Okay.
But so we'll be here the first week. We'll be here next week, but then we're off for 2 weeks.
Right. So the last show before the cruise is actually the night before, which is the 5th.
No.
Is that's the 5th?
No, I'm saying we're off for 2 weeks, so we're not doing the show on the 5th.
That's what I'm saying.
Or the 12th.
So
the last show is the 28th.
Okay. So that's why I was making sure, because the 5th we could have, but
we could. It could be remote.
It's up.
I'm fine with it.
It's up to you. I don't.
You can do it. I'll be poolside, but sure.
Oh no. Well, you'll be no. That's gonna be a different show. No, we'll cancel it.
Why?
No. That's okay.
Are you mad?
No, I'm not mad.
It feels like you're mad.
I'm not. I'm really not.
All right, because we could do the show.
I'm really not.
You could be remote from your bedroom, and I could be live from Shea Volt Isu.
Shea Volt Isu.
All right, so then the last show will be the 28th, and we will be back on the 19th.
Yes.
And then, so that will be 93, 94, 90. see, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I must have miscounted somewhere.
Well, if we take out that,
We'll need to do the show on the 5th in order
Yeah,
to
we take that
get
out.
our count right. Because this is 92, right?
Yeah, this is 92.
All right,
So-
so hold on, September. So 92, 93, 94.
5.
We're skipping that one because we'll be in the middle of the ocean then.
Right.
95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 200.
Right.
Yeah, so we'll have to do the show on the 5th. All right, so we will have our show on the 5th.
It'll be remote from me packing. That's what it's going to be.
That's fine. Yeah, so we are going, A Black H, we are going to Blackout. We will not be doing a live show. Well,
It depends.
We could, because I will have
depends, right. It depends on like how we like what we do, and so
there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Though. It feels like it would be hard to squeeze. The only time to really
then we'll
squeeze
be
that
out
in will
at
be
the damn-
Friday.
yeah.
We're gonna be on the beach on
Yeah.
Friday.
Well, and even that Wednesday we'll be out in the water.
Yeah, but I'm saying if we decided to just do a random ass show during
Oh, yeah.
Blackout Week, that's a lot.
Well, and even if we do that, it'll still notify everybody because as
We could-
long as you click and subscribe,
We could do a show, we just wouldn't be live.
we could post it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could do segments, like we could have a beat segment.
We could do that.
Mhm.
We could do that.
All right. Well, you've given us things.
You've given us some ideas to think
talk
about.
about. So, well, thank you guys. It's been a lovely evening. I am going to go, and I'm already packed for.
Yeah, I noticed the suitcase downstairs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm literally only be gone for, and this is just a leather leadership weekend. I'm not there to impress anybody. I'm bringing leather because I have to MC on Friday. Other than that, it's a couple of pieces. Everything is in that. The only other thing that I'm carrying, I'm gonna pack up that camera in that little container and my CPAP machine, and I'm good to go.
Yep. So listen, thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. Again, as we always say, you could have been anywhere.
Sunday afternoon could be a good time to do it.
We were doing the wrap up, and now
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I saw A Black H. He said we could have a live audience. You know what? That's true.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Please continue. Sir.
But no, we could. I mean, we could do that. But we're back on there. We're back on it. So okay.
All right. So you may go. You may continue.
I'm done now. I'm done.
This is the kind of thing that I have to deal with on a regular basis.
It's okay.
You sure you don't want to?
I'm okay.
You positive? Okay.
It's okay.
All
I'm
right.
good. I'm just stop. I'm good.
So again, thank you all, and we will consider doing a live show or at least recording some segments,
And
even if it's not going to end up being a live show, because I mean, there's definitely going to be segments on the cruise ship.
And let me tell y'all something right now. If we do this thing live anywhere while I'm on vacation, and if I happen to be drunk, it just is what it is. I'm just letting y'all know that right now. I'm just letting y'all know right now.
I do not deal well with the girls drunk
right
on
now.
camera.
And listen, so I'm telling everybody else that's there, that's going to be on the cruise. Listen, if you figure out how you can bring all sorts of stuff on the boat, let me know. Let me know. Let me figure it
Just
out.
keep this shit away from me because I'm not trying to get stopped by Customs and Border Protection.
I'm not
when we
trying
get
to
back.
carry anything. I just want to go ahead and experience it while I'm on the boat.
Got it.
That's all.
Well, all right, kids. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you and good night.
Bye, Nichelle.
Mwah. We will see you next time. Bye.